Hi there, I'm Rez, and welcome to part one of my unit showcase. So I'd been asked by a few people to show my built-up party members and my favorite units, and so I figured as a thank you for 500 subs, I would do kind of a unit showcase special. So first of all, thank you so much for 500 subs. It really means a lot. This isn't a battle unit showcase or anything. It's really me just going through my party members, sharing little stories about how I got their gear and things like that, and just, you know, talking about my connections to the game and things like that. So if that's something you're interested in, then please go ahead and keep watching. If not, if it's not your cup of tea, no worries, and hopefully see you on the next pull or clear video. Thank you so much. So we'll start with Warrior of Light. I don't have him maxed, and I don't have spheres on anyone. I'm like that kind of person that never uses mega elixirs in games. I'm just like, well, what if I need them for XYZ? And then I get to the final boss and I still don't even use them then. And I know that JP just came out with the reset sphere, but even with that, like, I'm just gonna see it as yet another mega elixir. So if you have any recommendations on, like, you know, whose spheres to use on whom, please let me know. So I didn't max Warrior of Light because I didn't really feel like his weapon, his EX needed to be. But I did realize it when it came out. I actually got his EX. I was trying to go for Katesis 35 when he first came out in the interlude, and I ended up getting Ice Brand back to back on tickets, which was wild. I didn't have any of his other weapons. I didn't have any of his other weapons maxed out either, so he's been super, super useful. I think my artifacts for him are decent. Yeah, they're pretty good. So look at Emperor next. Emperor has been so much fun to use, and some of you may have seen my poll video for him. So he was, you know, semi-lucky. Like, I got him on a ticket, but only after 25k gems. He's been so much fun to use, though, and I'm so happy that I got him and invested in him. Artifacts for him are also solid. I spent a while grinding for these. Rosa, my beautiful Rosa. I was very lucky with her. I tried to get her on her original banner, but was not lucky enough to do so. But then on this, I got her on the second multi, which was great. So I just immediately purpled her and she's such a fun unit. Like, I know that she's a standard support, but I love just her art and her EX animation and everything. Oh yeah, my artifacts for her aren't bad either. I spend a lot of time just grinding artifacts and catching up on TV shows, which I'm sure is something a lot of folks do to make it less mundane. Let's see. Oh my god, Golbez, Swole Bez. So I just got him last night after a very painful, like, 125 tickets and 25k gems. I know I shouldn't mix, but whatever. Purpled him immediately, though, because I promised I would in the video. I still don't have any boards maxed for him yet, but I'm working on it. Passives for him aren't great right now. I just did a few, but I've been having so much fun with him, just like even just grinding summon boards. And I love his voice actor. I've loved his voice actor ever since he originally came out, and it's like one of the main reasons why I wanted his kit is because I love hearing the voice, especially when he's using twin, or I guess triple Meteor now. Ferris, my girl, my favorite pirate girl. So I had already gotten Agrias on her original banner like almost a year ago, and I got, when Ferris EX came out on Agrias last chapter, I really, really wanted her, even though I had just gotten Lilithset. And I know that they're kind of different role-wise, but I spent, you know, maybe 20 tickets, and then because I have no self-control, I just did a YOLO multi. But I ended up getting her, and I was super excited. So she's been so much fun to use. I'm really, really glad I ended up getting her. I think she was, like, definitely underrated in the beginning. Let's see. Arts for her also aren't bad. They could definitely be better. I don't have her 50 passive, her level 50 passive equipped, because why would I want her to be below 50% health? And I don't have enough CP. Lena, oh my gosh, I got so lucky with Lena when her EX first came out, which was like May, I think. I got it on like 16 tickets, and I remember exactly where I was when I got it, and I freaked out. I was so excited, but I still didn't have her 35, and so I very stupidly did 3 multis trying to get her 35 when I have so many power tokens, and I didn't get it, and I ended up having to use power tokens anyway. So my lesson moving forward was don't do multis if you already have the EX. Oh yeah, I got some really good artifacts for her too. Love that initial brave. Terra. Oh, FF6 is my favorite, and I had to have Terra. So when her EX first came out, it was when her costume also came out, and I still was very reluctant to spend any sort of money on the game, even costumes. And I told myself, okay, if I don't get it on this next multi, this was also before I started saving my gems. This was before the pity system was in place. So I was like, okay, if I don't get it on this multi, it was like my 5th multi or something. But I had been slowly just using more and more gems. Like it wasn't like I had 25k gems and I just went one right after the other. It was like once I hit 5k gems, I tried pulling. But I ended up getting it on, it was like the only gold, and I was so happy. So I'm really excited for her EX Plus to come out at the end of the month. I know that like she doesn't become game breaking, but I do love her, and I know that her EX Plus helps her out a lot. I don't even know what the passives aren't great. I can't decide between I mean, obviously I want Mighty Meteor, but I don't have the CP for it. And I didn't want to deal with rearranging things since I haven't used her in a while. Locke. I have been thinking about realizing Assassin's Dagger for so long, but I don't know if it's worth it at this point. So I got really lucky on Locke's banner with the free pull last year, and I did the free pull. I really wanted his gear, and so then I did another YOLO pull, and I ended up getting his entire kit. I maxed out his 15 in that pull, and I got a copy of his 35 and his EX. So I was super, super excited, and he has served me very well to the point where like I kind of feel guilty that I haven't realized him, but I always like to have at least one book on hand, and he's done well enough without it that I feel like I don't need to, but I've got a couple of friends that have maxed him and love it, so I might have to reconsider. Passives aren't bad. They could be better, but at least it's got 324 attack. Let's see. Setzer. Okay, this was, and I wanted to ask, like, I know some people have asked, what's your biggest regret? Who was your biggest regret in terms of investment in the EX Plus era? So I also want to ask, who is like the person that you're happiest about having gone all in on? No pun intended, but Setzer, I was on the fence about going all in on him. I was like, I don't know how much I'm going to be able to use him in like non-farming content, or like, besides having him as a friend unit. But wow, that recharge, that recast speed on Prismatic Flash just changes the game, and I have so much fun with him, and he's such a great unit, and I'm so happy that I maxed him, and I like bringing him into different chaos fights and seeing how long he can last with that recast speed. I mean, his Brave attack plus, is it plus? I can't remember, an HP attack plus, like, they're just amazing by themselves. So I don't have Yuna maxed, but he's still a pretty good auto farmer. Celis, my girl. I was on the fence about realizing her too. Oh wait, so for Setzer's EX, it was also a YOLO pull. I was not planning on pitying, but I remember the banner came out. I did one pull. didn't get it, and then had no self-control and just decided, okay, I'm just gonna do one more. And I did it, and I got it. I was very happy. So Celis, I remember, who else was on her banner? It was Papa Limo, or I don't know how to pronounce his name, and I cannot remember who else was on her banner. Was it? No, it wasn't Locke. Was it Tara? I think it might have been Tara. I don't remember, but I didn't get it. It was the last night of her banner. I remember I was like lying in bed at my aunt's house, and against my better judgment, even though I had every single weapon on that banner absolutely maxed out, it's like, you know what, I'm just gonna go for it. I really want her EX. And so I did, and it was all bronze, but then at the very end, I got it. And I'm so glad I did. And she was on the bench for a while, but wow, allowing Spinning Edge to be like that fast of a recast has totally changed the game. So now I'm bringing her to a bunch of different chaos fights, and she shines real bright, and it's great. I'm so glad that she's getting some love. Cloud Force Stealer evaded me for so long. I was not successful when it first came out. And then I tried again on the starter banner when it first came out in Global. And that was where I kind of lost it because I was getting so unlucky, and I ended up very stupidly spending all my gems on the banner and not getting it, but also not having enough to pity. So I ended up getting Lightnings and Squalls EXs because I didn't have those, but I decided to wait a little bit until Cloud and Vincent came back on a banner, and so I was like, you know what, I'll just go for it then. Spent 25k on that banner, got Vincent EX, still no Cloud, and at that point I just decided to cut my losses and get him from the EX shop. The reason why I didn't want to initially is because I didn't get Ishtola, and I don't have any attachment to Lise, so I didn't really want to pull on her banner, but I ended up having to go with Cloud. But he carried me through early chaos, so definitely well deserved. I also had to get his Advent Children costume because, of course. Tifa, my other girl, I had to go for her since I cosplay her from time to time. But when her EX first came out on Barrett's character event, I tried going for it. I remember very distinctly spending 15k gems to no avail. But then when Barrett's last chapter came out, I figured I'd throw a few tickets. Like, I wasn't planning on throwing any gems, and I randomly ended up getting it on like my 20th ticket or something, and it was amazing. And I decided to max her on a whim, and she has been so useful. I have used her in so much content, and I'm so glad that I got her and maxed her, and she's so much fun to use, and I love her. And yeah, no regrets. Yuffie. So this wasn't on the actual poll video, but it was at the actual, pulling of the EX wasn't there. But yeah, it was after, I got Bart's, and after I did the multi, my internet went out, and so I went out to the living room to go figure out what was going on. But as I was doing it, I was still, doing more tickets. And then as I was in the dark, unplugging and replugging the router and modem, that's when Magic Shuriken came in. So it was great. I'm still debating, giving her some ingots, especially since I haven't done Brothers Chaos yet. But she seems like a lot of fun to use. I've just been enjoying using her just like this. So I'm glad I got her. Vincent. I guess I've already told that story since it was on the initial banner. I was trying to get Cloud. I was glad I at least didn't leave that banner empty-handed, since I do really like Vincent. I wish his realization were better. I didn't really. Resources were and still are so rare at this point. I don't know. Maybe he'll get a rework or something. I'm not sure, but. For now, he's been hanging out unless his debuffs come in especially handy. Katesith, this one was just out of the blue. I was in Egypt with my family, and it was the night before we were leaving. We were leaving at like 5 a.m. And of course I was up packing until 3, and the Katesith and Balthier banner dropped, and I had gone all in gems for Balthier and got him after like 25k tickets, and then I was bored waiting at the airport, so just decided to throw some tickets there, see if I could get Katesith, since like he helped me out a lot when he first came out. An interlude, like he plus Aiko plus Beatrix were a force to be reckoned with, just with like all the number of buffs that they give. So yeah, I decided to throw some tickets there just to see what I got, and I got another Balthier EX on a ticket, and then I actually ended up doing one more ticket by accident, and that ticket was Katesith EX, so I got their EXs back to back, but now I have a spare Balthier EX. Seth. Seth was actually probably my second most unlucky EX pull. So I was in Vermont with my family, and I'm sorry if these stories are really boring, but I remember them so vividly, and I just like tie them to the character. So I was in Vermont with my family. I promised myself that I was gonna wait until the next morning to pull, but I decided to, throw some tickets. I still wasn't sure if I was gonna pity him or not, but I did 100 tickets. I got 2 golds in those 100 tickets. And then and I love Sephiroth just as a character, so I was like, okay, I'll throw some multis. And then I kept going. Like, this was before I got, this was right around when I got decent at saving, and I finally got it after like 55k gems, but it left me at 30k gems. So he gave me a run for my money, but he's worth it. Stripperoth is worth it. I'm trying to figure out, like, obviously I want, One Winged Angel, but I know Mighty Fervent Blow is also really useful, so trying to figure out what the best arts are on him. Still need to max out his boards too. Zach. I'm so excited for when his realization comes out. It's going to be great. So I pulled on Zach. I was going to wait until the Ignis banner, but then I decided to just do a YOLO multi on his Lost Chapter, and it was like all bronze, but then the very last one was his EX, and I was not expecting it at all. But I also didn't have his... I didn't have his 15 maxed. I didn't even have his 35, so I threw a few tickets at it later that day, and literally on the second ticket, I ended up getting his 35. So he's been so much fun to use. I'm so excited to use him again. I think my artifacts for him are decent. Yeah, pretty good. The initial Brave boost is really good with his EX. Squall, I tried getting so much on Selfie's character event, and I never got it, and this was pre-pity, and I don't remember how many gems I ended up spending on it, but I never got it. And I ended up getting it on a ticket on the starter banner, and then I ended up getting it again on Ultimecia's character event banner. Let's see. Yeah, at least we've got, max attack for him. I haven't, I'm still like unsure if it's worth maxing him at this point, especially since I just maxed Seth, but maybe, I don't know. Selfie, so when her Lost Chapter came out, I decided to throw some tickets at it just because her EX looked really interesting. Like, it can just be absolutely broken in the right hands, like with Vayne or something. So I threw a few tickets and I ended up getting it, and I was really excited because she also carried me a lot throughout, just throughout the initial EX era. She's a great support, and I'm excited for her realization. And I remember like just trying to get Life of Travia boost 2 stars for everything. Oh, ulti. I was like, Ulti wasn't too mean to me on her banner. I think I got her on the 4th overall multi. So I ended up spending 15k gems, which was totally fine. I got her 35, which was great. And I maxed her immediately. So she's been a lot of fun to use. And I'm really glad that I got her, but I still need to do some work on her artifacts. Her artifacts are not great, and I need to fix that. But yeah, I really like using her. I'm glad that I ended up going for her. Eiko. You guys might have also seen that video that I posted recently, but FF9 holds a special place in my heart, and Eiko honestly reminds me a lot of my little cousins. So again, no, I know you're not supposed to mix, but she's a fave. So yeah, I think I ended up with 100 tickets and 25k gems for her, but I got Tiger Racket, holding off on giving it limit breaks for now, just to see how she does with just the realized weapon. And so far she's been holding up great, so gotta go through her boards. I might realize her armor. But I mean, like many people, she just carried me through the 35 era, and she deserved to get that Tiger Racket. And also just the animation that when she waves bye to it at the end is just so cute. I love it. Kuja is probably my favorite Final Fantasy villain. He's just so fabulous, and I love him. And I guess with him, Sephiroth, and Setzer, I've got a thing for silver-haired Final Fantasy guys. But I only had this was also before I started saving, stockpiling my gems. And so when he came out, I had 10k gems. I did those multis, didn't get anything, and I decided to do a few tickets, and I ended up getting his EX on a ticket, and I was so excited. So Kuja is actually one of the first units that made me not take the game seriously, but actually caused me to start trying out the harder content at the time, since when I did a multi on his initial banner, I got 3 copies of his 35, so I got to max that right away, and he was just so powerful when he first came out. I'm sad he fell off pretty quickly, but he definitely still has his use. Let's see. Yeah, artifacts aren't too bad either. Tidus. I got Tidus really randomly on a ticket when his EX first came out, and then I didn't use him that much just because his kit is kind of awkward even after even the rework made it better, but it was still kind of awkward, which is why I didn't max him. Realizing his weapon definitely helps since his EX the recast is fast, and it does do 100% AoE damage, but the whole winning spirit thing it's just awkward. But I had fun with him for a while, and he still definitely comes in handy in certain cases. Yuna. I got Yuna a few days after my birthday. I didn't put any multis towards her banner, but I did decide to throw a few tickets, and it was a couple days after my birthday, and I just decided to go for it, and I got off a ticket, and I was so happy, and I love summoning Valfor. I haven't realized her because I know that if you realize her, you basically have to go 3 out of 3, and I don't know if I'm willing to do that. Even though, I've heard 2 things. One, she's so worth it, if only for being able to auto farm, which I do need that, but others are saying, she doesn't hit hard enough for it to be worth the investment besides auto farming. So I still need to make a decision there. I also really don't want to invest the time into getting her cursed artifacts. The ones that I have are fine now, but I don't have any doubles. I don't have any that are charged and all buffed attack boost. So I'll have to see, but I'm just glad I ended up getting her EX when I did. Lilithette. So she was on Kuja's banner, and I, like, when her 6060 Awakening came out, she became such a staple in my teams. Like, it just felt like, you know, you're invincible with her. And so I kind of did the same thing that I did with Ferris. I threw a few tickets at it, didn't get lucky, did a YOLO multi, even though I already had Kuja's EX maxed out. And I ended up getting Terpsichore, which I was super excited about. And she, well, I haven't used her. I think I used her in first stage of Entropy, but she was so instrumental, just like when she first came out for the first, you know, couple months. And I still use her in some content. She was so key in killing that stupid Soul Cage chaos fight, but she's a lot of fun to use. And I'm definitely happy with, like, the resources that I put in her, and my artifacts to her are pretty good. Vaughn. So Vaughn, I can't remember whose EX he was like a double release with. Like, he was on one banner, and then there was somebody else on another banner. It might have been Thancred. That might have been when Thancred got his early rework. But I decided to do a YOLO pull, which seems to be the theme of many of these EXs. I decided to do a YOLO pull on the Vaughn EX banner, and I got it on the first multi, which I was really excited about because I wasn't planning on really spending any resources. I didn't realize him because I think he's another one where you just really have to go 3 out of 3, and I don't understand why the plus versions for, like, I get it, you know, if it's like Ace where both of his skill add to the stacks or whatever. Like, I know Vaughn doesn't have a stacking mechanic, but like, if they've only got 6 uses, why only make it so that White Whirl can be used or Red Spiral can be used once? Balthier. So I already heard this in Egypt with my family, didn't even go for tickets, just decided to go right for it. And I'm so glad I did. He's been such a fun unit to use, and he's really made me want to play FF12 a lot more. So I'm glad I maxed him. He's been so fun, and he was so key in his initial event. And I think, I can't remember if I already used him or if I'm saving him for tier 5. I'm not sure, but I'm definitely glad that I maxed him. I don't think there are any units that I've regretted maxing. Tiger Claw, I didn't get it when it first came out, but I was like in the back of our cab in Egypt over the holidays, and the banner came out, and so I can't remember if it was a free multi or something, but I did it, didn't get anything, decided, okay, I'm just doing one more and then I'm gonna cut my losses. And I did it, and I got it. Oh yeah, it was on like the Setzer Sarah one. But I'm so glad I got it. She's been a lot of fun, and I really like that she gets so much out of her EX Plus just with one limit break, kind of the same as Lilithette and Ferris. So I've definitely enjoyed using her. I still use her in a bunch of fights, and she's also just adorable. I need to get better arts for her though. Sarah has been MVP for, I'm sure, also many of you for so long, even before her EX Plus. So when her EX first came out, I was saving for Vayne. But Sarah, even though I've never played 13 or 13.2, she just really grew on me as a character just from DFFOO. And so I really, really wanted to get her EX, but I did 2 multis, no dice, and I was so mad at myself for having wasted 10k gems, but against my better judgment, I decided to do another multi, but then I did end up getting it on that multi, so I was very, very happy with that. And I'm so glad I got it because she's been so clutch in so many of my runs, even before realizing. I'm considering giving her another ingot just so that she doesn't run out of steam as quickly, since Ultima Arrow with 2, since Fairy's Bow with 2 limit breaks can also cause her, I can't remember what her special buff is called, but makes it so that you don't have to use wound every time you want to keep the buff. So my artifacts for her are pretty good. I've got 1 perfect and 2 that are like, you know, decent, but I'm trying to figure out, I might like spend some more time trying to get, you know, all perfects. Y'shtola, I was saving for the EX shop, but I decided to go for it once, since, you know, we were getting a free pull on the lease banner. You know, I did the free multi, didn't get her, did a couple tickets, got lease EX, and got 2 copies of lease EX in the first like 15 tickets. And then I was like, okay, I might as well just try one more multi. And I did, and I got Y'shtola EX, which I'm very happy about, because now I still have the second EX token shop available. Still trying to figure out who I'm going to get from that. I'm deciding between either Lael or Paladin Cecil. Was also thinking Onion Knight, but since he comes out on a banner with Yuri, who I also want, I don't think that I'll get him. But debating between Lael and Paladin Cecil, since I don't want to pull for Paladin Cecil since I've already got Vayne. But Y'shtola has been just a godsend, as I'm sure she has been for many, many of you guys. Noctis was the very first EX that I got, and he has just served me so well. He was like I got his EX. It was, not to be a downer, but it was like the afternoon after the funeral of a very close friend of mine, and I was super, super upset, and I just wanted to like kind of throw myself into my games and forget about everything. And then I ended up getting his EX and his 35, which you need to, you know, get Warp Strike instead of Death Drop, on my first multi. And then when I was doing tickets, I ended up getting another copy of his EX. So Noctis was very nice to me on that day, and I was excited when he got his rework. It just brought him his 70/70 and everything, and I used him for the majority of mid to late chaos, and he definitely served me well. So I'm excited for when his burst weapon comes out, even though I've never played 15, but he holds a special place in my heart just for, you know, the joy that he brought me on an otherwise very, very sad day. Ramza. So I had been saving for Ramza, and I knew that I was really going to want his EX. I've never played Tactics, but after Agrias, I've been wanting to play it more and more. So I knew that Ramza's EX is going to be coming out end of September or something, so I was budgeting for that and budgeting for, you know, a lot of the characters that I wanted. Even if I'm going to pity someone, I usually will try my luck with a few tickets first, and so I was gonna throw 10 tickets at this, and I did, and I got it on the 3rd ticket. I was like, I am done. I still didn't have his 35, so I ended up tokening that from the shop, but I can't be mad about like a basically free EX. Agrias. I remember getting her EX on a ticket, and I was so excited. I love, like, you know, the Holy Knight archetype, like her and Beatrix, and I was just about to go like visit my grandma, and I wasn't sure like how that visit was going to be, since she wasn't doing great at the time. And you know, once we got there, it was totally fine. But I remember getting Save the Queen, and it was just like, yes, I haven't saved anything for this, but I'm still being rewarded, and I don't know why, and it's gonna come back to bite me in the ass someday, but for now I'm just gonna enjoy it. So I was very, very happy to have gotten that. Ace I got randomly when Deuce came out. I was trying to get Deuce's 35 for some reason, and I ended up getting Ace's EX on a ticket. I didn't really use him since I didn't have any of his other weapons maxed out, but I just decided to, you know, he hung out for a little while, but then when he when his rework and realization came out. I didn't max him, I plussed him, but I waited until pretty recently to go 3 out of 3 with him. I was trying to do Pathos, DE Pathos. No, I had already done Pathos. I was trying to do Entropy Tier 2 or something, and I just couldn't get past it, and I wanted to save Emperor and Ultimecia for later tiers, so I ended up just going for it. And I'm glad I did, because he hits so much harder. But since he was one of the 6 that got the first like Adajas, I like just went ham on his artifacts, and I ended up getting really, really good arts for him. So he's been a lot of fun to use. Rem was a little bit painful, so I got her on Machina's banner. I tried getting her a little bit when her EX first came out, but only tickets, and I got 735. So I didn't have... I really wanted her EX because I know that she can just make things like broken. And so I did a multi. I got Machina on the first pull, but not Rem. I kept going. I spent like 25k gems. I hadn't spent any tickets, so you know, I'm the same. But I decided to take a break after 25, and then I was like, screw it, I'm going one more. And I ended up getting her EX and then another copy of Machina's EX. So I was very happy about that, and she's been so much fun to use. I need to get better arts for her though. So Machina, I underestimated him. I haven't really used him that much, but I recently used him in Tier 1, I think. And he's so much fun to use. Like that HP, that like Furious Blades, or whatever it is, plus is so useful. And so even though he's at 0 out of 3, he's been amazing. And so I'm really glad I ended up getting him. Still need to get better arts for him though. Charlotta. So this was an exception where I had like 50 tickets, and I was like, okay, I have enough to pity her, but I've gotten pretty lucky on ticket pulls lately, so I might as well just try. And I got her on like the 30th ticket or something. I didn't get any other weapons for her, but I got her EX on the 30th ticket. And I learned my lesson from Renoa and who else? Lena, to not try to get their 35s in a multi, so I just said screw it and got her 35 from the shop. So she's, you know, been awesome to use, and she really does still live up to the hype. I do need to get better artifacts for her, but yeah, she's been a lot of fun. I need to use her in more team comps. All right, so thanks so much for watching. That was my 77 unit showcase. I did record all the way through to my 60 units, but I wasn't sure if it was something that you guys would want to see. I know that there are some units in there that are going to be relevant soon again, like Renoa, but I didn't want to assume anything. So let me know in the comments below if you'd like to see through the 60 characters. Another question that I have is who's somebody that you regret investing in, and then who's somebody that you were reluctant to invest in, didn't think was necessarily going to be worth it, but now are super happy that you did. So like for me, that would be Setzer. He has come in clutch in so many things. Like I just thought he was going to be useful for farming, but and as a friend support, but he's so much more than that, and I'm so glad that I ended up investing in him. And then the other question is, I think I am going to do an FF4 playthrough, so I'd love to know if it's something that you guys would prefer to watch streamed live, or if it's something that you prefer to watch later on your own time, or both, because whatever, let me know what you think, because that'll probably end up determining which route I go. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'm recording this a day after I actually recorded the unit showcase, and I'm almost at 700 subs now, so thank you so much. This is really exciting, and I'm so appreciative for all the support. So thank you so much for watching, and hope to see you soon in the next video, which will probably be free multi and some tickets on 8's banner. So thanks so much. Say bye, Teddy. Bye.